Cowboys Nation, let's load up. Let's get everybody in here. Let's chat. Sitting here vibing on the Tuesday. You know, just doing what I normally do. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Cowboys Nation. It's draft time. You know, salute to everybody out there. I think DMV's gonna jump in if he's free, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it here in a little bit, man. And yeah, keep the live questions going, keep everything flowing, energy going on. What's up, John, bro? What am I thinking, bro? Good question. Good question, man. Good question. We'll talk about it here in a second once everybody get in here, man. Hopefully having a good. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. I honestly should be packing right now, but I'm being lazy. Y'all know I don't pack till last minute. I don't pack till last minute, man. But I need to kind of get things moving and going. But I'm moving slow. I'm not sure what the weather is like in Green Bay. I don't even know. Uh, let's see, what's the weather like in Green Bay? Probably cold, I assume. Let's see. Green Bay, Wisconsin. There he is. There he is. What up, Cuts? My dog. What's going on with you, dog?
Ain't much, bro. I'm just checking the connectivity down here because I might be down here for the draft. So I'm seeing how it's moving.
Yeah. I was gonna do that. I was gonna do some testing with the laptop and everything, the headset. But I tested out earlier, so I think we good, man. For the NFL draft show, man. I'm excited, bro. How you feeling, dog?
Hey, look, I was venting out some frustration to y'all earlier, and trust me, dog. Like we ain't done if if it's looking like how it's gonna look.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and we'll talk about it once everybody gears up, man. So make sure y'all hit those likes, subscribes on your way in, man. Salute to Johnson. Watched the conference at work. Was not surprised to hear what was said. Honestly, John, like I didn't even watch the press conference, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got too much to say about it because a lot of the stuff I believe is probably smoke screens, but we'll see. I got Chris says, Tuck, when does it get better? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to sit back and see. Hopefully Leon's going on, Mikael Williams at 12, or just overall the player? I like him as a player at 12 for the Dallas Cowboys. I would probably say, nah, I'm cool on that, man. Yeah, DMV. So we were talking about it a little bit earlier today before we had to jump off and get to some other stuff, but the physicality. And I think a lot of people have this assumption that in order to be physical, you have to draft in the trenches, right? And I just don't think that's the case. And like I was saying earlier this morning, I believe it's more about a mentality. So you can coach guys into being physical. And when I was saying to DMV earlier, I was like, when you think about things from a standpoint of if you were to ask who's more physical, you would say Brock Hoffman is more physical than Mozzie Smith. You know what I'm saying? You would probably even say Brock Hoffman, who's an undrafted free agent, is more physical than even a Tyler Guyton, right? So physicality isn't about where you're drafted. It's more about a mindset, right? Now, there are some things that you can have from a skill standpoint that can bring some physicality. But if you don't have it up here and the mentality to be physical, you can be the biggest, toughest, baddest person on the planet, but you're still soft, right? So talk a little bit about that DMV, what you're kind of saying about the physicality, because I can see a lot of people were talking about that on Twitter today, like, oh, we're going to get tough, we're going to get physical, and, all those buzzwords that we use every offseason.
Yeah, because I'll even ask people this: Did we get tougher by adding Tyler Guyton last year? Did we get tougher by adding Mozzie Smith?
Did we get tougher by adding Luke Schoonmaker?
No, we didn't. So right. I think that all of that stuff goes to what you're saying. Did we get tougher by adding Micah Parsons?
Yep.
Exactly. Did we get tougher by adding a CeeDee Lamb?
Yep.
So I think that just by asking those few questions, that tells you all you need to know is that it's about the mentality of the players. It's about, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so much how, and I think that we've been brainwashed to think that. And I don't know where the hell that even started. I don't know where it started. Like, the Great Wall of Dallas, none of them dudes, I don't even, like, who was the highest draft pick? An 8th rounder? We keep bringing that up. Right. Bro, none of them dudes was drafted high. They were coached hard.
They were coach hard, right? Right. Yeah, and that's the thing that a lot of people throw out the mentality of not only the coaching but the culture of the organization breeds toughness, right? If you just go to the Pittsburgh Steelers or you just go to the Baltimore Ravens, more than naturally you are going to be tough just because of the
Yeah.
culture, right? Just how
Hmm.
things are coached. So it's like it doesn't have to be a situation where you have to go offensive line first round and that automatically breeds physicality. You can draft a first round talent that's soft as hell. Ask the Giants right now what they're
Yep.
going with their offensive linemen, soft as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would say, honestly, would I still go offensive line? I'm not feeling it, bro. I just really not for the way this team is currently constructed.
I
We
do
just
think
have
there's some
great
tough defensive linemen though, like
right,
Mike
right,
Williams. Like if we were going to do that, if you're going to talk to me about toughness, then you could sell me on D line with some
right,
of these guys.
right. You could sell me on toughness, D line, defensive tackle, edge. There's
Linebacker.
also some wide receivers as
Yeah.
well. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for sure. The wide receivers I think are tougher than the guys we want. I mean, to
Right,
be honest, or make us tougher. I don't think that, like, obviously Booker's tough, obviously Simmons is tough, but in those areas, I mean, you think we draft those guys are gonna make us out tough Philly? No, you know
right.
what I'm saying? Uh,
Nah, nah. It's even when you talk about Philly, right? It's not really the players, and I know we get caught up in the names, but it's just the organization that they
yeah,
have. Like everything is just as much as we're anti them, it's dirty, dark, grimy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Cooper DeJean became a tough dude. He became
right.
a
He
tough
became
guy.
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I can guarantee you Cooper Rush is going to get some toughness just being in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's a ripple effect. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever have someone who is soft, and that's why like people, I'm not too deep into it. People join gangs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It'd be some soft ass, scary ass individual, but he get around some, you know what I'm saying? And now he starts to act a little tough. You see what I'm saying? So
yep.
it's a mindset thing, it's a cultural thing. And if it's not really a part of your organization who you really want to be, it doesn't matter who you draft, it's just not going to translate like that.
Okay, some people said Larry Allen was a second round pick and
Yeah,
Eric
they said,
Williams
they
was
said
a
the
third
highest
round
off of
pick.
it was Larry Allen, and he was a second round pick.
And that was after we won the Super Bowl, though. You get what I'm
Right, right,
saying? That
right.
wasn't like that. That didn't lead up to us getting there. And I'm
Hmm.
just trying to figure out. All right, what we said. We would say Tyron Smith's a Hall of Famer, right?
Right.
Okay. We'd say Zach Martin's a Hall of Famer, right?
Hmm.
Okay. I think that
Travis.
those are the only ones, right? Because Frederick was on his way. But
Right.
what we say that
Travis.
they
Travis
were.
Frederick will be a Hall of Famer.
You say what?
Fred will be a Hall of Famer.
Even with that, right? And this is what I'm trying to point out. Uh, would they be Hall of Famers without DeMarco Murray or Zeke Elliott?
Right.
I don't think so. You get what I'm saying? I think it takes the right guy behind you to kind of push. I mean, because think about it. Like Doug Free was on that line. I keep
Mhm.
pointing that out. Doug Free was on that line, and Leary was on that line. Both of
Yeah,
them.
that was the free reign, right? That was the free reign era, pretty much, right? Because
Hmm.
was Colombo still there, or was he gone by then?
I think he might have been gone. I don't know,
Okay.
but yeah, I think he was gone. But
Hmm.
besides, I want to say Doug Free replaced him. I want to
Hmm.
say that, because we brought in Tyron
Oh,
Smith to
that's
play the
right.
right side because Doug Free was on the left, and then they
Hmm.
they switched those guys. But I'm trying to point out that just because we get an offensive lineman,
Looney. That was Looney.
Looney was center, and he
Right.
was, yeah. But just because
I
we
guess we
get,
could always look this shit up, but yeah.
yeah, bro, we've had centers that, like, people that won Pro Bowls and shit that were like hell, Andre
Tyler
Gerard got a
Biotis.
whole bunch of accolades.
Right. Tyler Biotis was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I think it matters who you got making plays for you too.
Right.
That matters, bro, and
Right.
it's a different type of temperament. Like, you can't just, I don't know, like, I'm still making my way through the press conference. So
Mhm.
I haven't listened to the whole thing. But one thing that stood out to me is something that you talked about, where he talked about Shotty knows his team probably just as good as Mike McCarthy knew it. And when I heard that, I said, "Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
We about to play that buddy ball, and yeah,
Yeah,
we about to play
yeah.
buddy ball."
It's gonna be buddy ball, bro. And yeah, that's why I really don't even want to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna look at this roster who we had, man. Yeah, I'm going through it.
And I got like 1 minute, dog, before I gotta get this
Oh,
boy
you good,
somebody. And
dog? We just
I
vibing,
might
bro.
jump back on. I might jump
Yeah,
back
you
on.
got the link, dog. So yeah, so I just think with this offensive line stuff, bro. It's just I'm personally I mean, I understand it, but I'm just not feeling it. You see what I'm saying? Because I just feel like with the void that you left in weapons, and I know they're talking about Gilmore's in the building today, some trade that even James Slater shot down, possibly of trading back and with Denver and picking up Paris Campbell alongside of like that's not enough. Like it's not enough. And I feel like you need to actually go get some explosive weapons, right? People that can actually move the needle. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yep.
offensive lineman doesn't move the needle at all. You know, what happens if you have an offensive line that can create holes, but you don't have a running back that has the burst to even hit the hole properly? You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I feel like you can have a bad running back, and you play the position DMV. A
Yeah.
bad running back can overcompensate for a bad offensive line
Absolutely.
versus a bad offensive line or a good offensive line can overcompensate for a bad running back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. I think that our offensive line isn't as bad as people think it is. I think that
Right.
probably I think it's a little bit above average.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that our run game is below average. I think
Right.
we're below average right now.
From a skills perspective, but also from a scheme perspective. You see what I'm saying? From
Yeah.
last year. You know?
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I think that you get a really good running back in here. I think you could take that above average offensive line and take it above. I think you could take it above where you think you can. I think that the
Right.
players could help.
Right. Yeah, exactly right. I think it takes it over the hump. If you get one of those players, I see Rico would have had more yards than 1K. O line wasn't bad. Um, I mean Rico could have got it, but honestly, Rico wasn't a threat. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I just feel like if you would have had what Rico was able to do in those games, imagine y'all if that was Bucky Irving. You know what I'm saying? Like Bucky Irving would have probably damn near double what Rico was able to do in less carries. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Um, and so it's just like it's just a fear factor, right? A fear factor that you need to have in the backfield. It not only opens up things for your wide receivers, but it makes life easier on your quarterback. And we get to dictate what the defenses do versus the defense dictating what the offenses do. See what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, dog. Oh yeah, dad duty, man. I'm on mine here, so I'm going live real quick because I got a wife getting her happy hour in tonight. So I'm like, all right, so I gotta go do pickup and drop off. I still gotta pack and stuff. That's why I'm going live right now, bro. So yeah. All right, dog. Said we went from Zeke to TP to Rico. We went from RB3 to a starter. Yeah, Vaughn. I think that was probably one of the situations, right? I don't want to say he bit off more than he can chew. DMV is froze on the screen. Let's see here. All right, all right, cool. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like he was a good rotational back, right? But even when you look at this Dallas Cowboys offense last year, and I've been saying this ad nauseum, there was nobody to really be afraid of outside of CeeDee Lamb, you know? And when you're able to do that, like I was saying, you allow the defense to dictate what the offense does. Because even if you want to go 21 personnel, right? You know what I'm saying? Then there's still no concerns to even go heavy because they're still not concerned about your running back. There's really no threat, right? So if you get a running back that is a serious threat, it's going to open up things not only for CeeDee Lamb, but it's also going to open up things for Jake Ferguson as well. And God, who knows who our wide receiver two is. So, having a dynamic running back changes things. The Philadelphia Eagles, they've been had a good offensive line, whether it's with Kelsey and Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, list goes on and on. But when you have that good offensive line, they had a Miles Sanders, they even have Swift, and their running game was okay. But then when you add that fire of Saquon, that's when everybody said, oh shit. That's when everybody said, oh shit. All right. You know what I'm saying? Damn. You know what I'm saying? Saquon behind that offensive line. Okay. So imagine if you were to say, okay, Tuck, we need to build our offensive line up. Okay, cool. I get that. But what happens if you were to get a Genty or even a Hampton and put them behind some talented veteran offensive linemen? I just feel like y'all personally, when it comes to offensive line, we have spent so many resources with the offensive line. It's time to coach them up, y'all. You can't sit back and scream, we are draft and develop, and you're already willing to bail on development. So if you go out there and you spend a first round pick on left tackle again, I don't want to hear not another word about draft and develop because you didn't even want to develop Tyler Guyton. You see what I'm saying? Because think about this, y'all. We drafted Tyler Smith. All right, cool. It hit. What was the pick that they wanted to do the very next draft? Mike McCarthy wanted Matthew Bergeron, right? And then we got Tyler Guyton. And then we spent value on Austin Richards. And Matt Walesko was our Amari Cooper trade. And then you drafted Josh Ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you bring in all these different free agent acquisitions from Sadiq and Charles. The list goes on and on. How much resources are you going to put into the offensive line? So you're going to spend one, three, four, actually, so I would say five, right? So you got the last five kind of premium picks, you're going to spend that on offensive line because you went Tyler Smith, okay, Mozzie Smith, then you turned around and you went Tyler Guyton, and then you also went Cooper BB in the third. So that's three right there, okay? Then you're going to go and do offensive line again for a fourth time? It's just too much for me, right? It's just too much. Facts, Tuck. I'm not for all line the first round for one round or later. Yeah, yeah. Third round, we can get an offensive line, right? Only way I would consider offensive line, it would have to be some weird situation where I doubt it happens, where like Will Campbell was the slide out the top 12, like something like that, bro. But if you're trying to sell me on Josh Simmons, who is coming off an injury, even though I think he's a talented player, mm-mm. Nah, it's just not it for me. It's just not it for me. It would have been nice if the Dallas Cowboys would have went and just got like a Will Hernandez or went and paid some money for a veteran left tackle. We wouldn't have to have these conversations. You see what I'm saying? And that's what Sky was talking about. That was what Vosh was talking about. We are having these crazy conversations in all these different scenarios. I mean, think about it. If you follow someone on Twitter, it's from Cowboys could go offensive line, the Cowboys could go tight end, Dallas Cowboys go to defense there, Dallas Cowboys go wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys go running back, because we have so many damn holes to fill. You know, that's the problem. We have so many different holes to fill. People don't know what the hell the Cowboys are going to draft. You know what I'm saying? Like that, we know the Giants need probably an edge rusher or a quarterback, right? But we are going into this draft with so many holes. It could be Mikael Williams. It could be Mike Green. It could be Will Johnson. It could be Jahad Campbell. It could be Kelvin Banks. It could be Matthew Golden. It could be Tet. It could be Amari Hampton. It could be you. It could be me, because the Cowboys did not handle business in free agency. Like, that is wild to me, y'all. It's wild to me. And I hate that we put ourselves in that predicament where it's just like, if you go offensive line, Okay, cool. Let's say we go Tyler Booker, right guard. Okay, cool. Alabama. Now we still have a hole at left tackle. Uh, Now we still have hole at corner. We still have hole at wide receiver. We still have holes at running back. We still have holes at linebacker. So, so what the Dallas Cowboys, and I've been saying this a lot, y'all, they are gambling this season on this coaching staff that this coaching staff can turn water into wine. Because it's like, help them, get some premier talent. I don't know why do we have to look how hard we've had to fight, push, scream, yell, scratch, bitch, complain just by about getting Dak Prescott a running back. A running back. Just like that, like we're not asking, we were asking for little stuff. Hey, you know what? Maybe we should go get Aaron Jones. You know what I'm saying? Hey, even now, Nick Chubb's available. I want to go get Nick Chubb. Derrick Henry, Jacobs. Like we wasn't asking for much. And they ran us out there with Zeke and Rico, and it's not enough. It just wasn't enough, you know. And we end up paying the price for it, and that's the thing that hurts the most about this. I wonder if Will Hernandez might be too expensive for the Cowboys. Yeah, probably, Amanda. Probably. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going for cheap. He ain't going for vet minimum and all that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you know, we go back to the season 2 years ago when we lost to Green Bay. All of us from a mile away was saying, yo, we need a linebacker. As good as that team was, as even though we were 12-5, and I really felt like, okay, we had something there. All right. We just need a linebacker. And they didn't do it. Like that is crazy to me that you can have a contender in a roster that's playing well and notice that you need one piece and you're just like, shit, go play with some safeties, bro. I can't help you. You know? Like that is just it's just wild to me, you know? Like one hand, I've been screaming for us to go get Keenan Allen. I've been screaming it too, boss. Like the whole fan base has been screaming, go get Keenan Allen. Now, if you went and got Keenan Allen, now maybe you can chill on going wide receiver in the first round. I would understand it. But see, we're going into the draft with all these holes, and what we have to rely on is the Dallas Cowboys giving us IOUs. You see what I'm saying? You ever had someone who isn't really good with money, and we know, but they're saying, hey, bro, I ain't got you today. I'll get you next week when I get paid. That's what we're going into the draft saying, hey, bro, I know we don't have a running back right now, but next week after the draft, I'll go get you one. But you're not good for it. You don't have good enough credit for Cowboys fans to believe if you don't get Ted Burton, Golden, Emeka, that next week we're gonna sign Keenan Allen. You don't have enough good credit when it comes to this fan base. I mean, shit, you can't even sign Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even do the little things. So the Cowboys fans cannot put their trust in you. And this is why we're saying, oh, we need offensive line. We need offensive line. We need wide receiver. We need corner. We need because if we want something that can possibly be elite at that position, we can't rely on the front office to go pay for one. Draft is our only option. You see what I'm saying? which is a horrible situation to put your fan base in, where it's like, if we want a premier guard, right, or tackle, we wouldn't go pay for one if one's out on free agency. No, no, no. So the only opportunity to get a premier left tackle is to draft one. If we wanted a premier wide receiver too, we probably wouldn't go pay for a Keenan Allen or a Cooper Cup. No, 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 no. Right? Our only option is to hopefully to draft one. Salute to my dog B Bird. You're the only content creator that be on the front office neck like me, bro. B Bird, you already know me, dog. I appreciate super chat, bro. You already know me, dog. It's not Kendrick Lamar. It's not enough. It's not enough. The last premier guy we went out and got was Amari Cooper. And Vaughn, why did that happen? Everybody in the chat, why did we trade and outbid other teams to go get Amari Cooper? Because they ran this team out there in absence of Dez Bryant and thought they could get away with Allen Hurns and me at wide receiver, and they fell flat on their face, and so they had to fix it real quick. They had to fix it real quick. They had to fix it, right? That's the only reason why. And see, which kills me is that why do we have to wait for shit to hit the fan before we move? You know? What was the dude? Damn. That Law used to always say his name, the wide receiver that we got. Um, damn, what is his name? What was that wide receiver, y'all, that we got after Amari Cooper? Um, damn. I can hear Law saying it, but I can't. No, not Simi. He was a free agent. Not Randall yeah, James Washington. Right? James Washington. Salute to Law. We had to go out there and run out there with James Washington to replace Amari Cooper. Then he ended up getting hurt. Didn't he? Did he get hurt or something like that? Right? And still, even with that, everybody was saying, hey, we need a wide receiver. Hey, we need a wide receiver. Hey, yo, we need a wide receiver, y'all. Hey, bro, we need a wide receiver. Hey, we should go get a wide receiver. Go get a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver. Oh, we're fine. We got Noah Brown. Ball bubbling all off his chest and shit. Dak Prescott leading the league in interceptions. Then it's shit. We messed up. How about we take OBJ to the Mavs game? How about T.Y. Hilton come on in? Because we messed up and we ran Dak out there thinking Dak can turn water into wine, and he's bleeding out, leading the league in interceptions, but there's nobody to fix it. Now imagine that year when we lost to San Francisco, right? That's when Tony Pollard went down that game, and Dak did the interception. Imagine the Cowboys would have just went and got Brandon Cooks then. Imagine when we were bleeding out saying, damn, bro, we just need this team, this defense is playing on fire. Dan Quinn has this team humming. We really can be some contenders right now. Let's just go all in. And they could have went and got Brandon Cooks. Now imagine if we would have had Brandon Cooks, we would have had Tony Pollard, we would have had, Zeke that still was a trace of himself. And we had this Dallas Cowboys defense where Deron Bland was a walking pick six, and Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons and Jaron Curse and, Jonathan Hankins. And, we had that along with Dan Quinn coaching. We were just one little piece away at the wide receiver position. and they said, we cool. I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? We're cool on that. We're cool on it. Oh, we brought in OBJ. We talked to him, but maybe something's in the future. You see what I'm saying? That's just crazy. It's almost like negligence. It's almost like negligence to know your team really needs these few little pieces. And in the following year, you went and got Brandon Cooks. You went and got Stephon Gilmore. Defense is playing well once again. Interceptions, turnovers, all that, right? Dak is back in stride again, playing at an MVP level. Really playing at an MVP level for Dak Prescott. LVE goes down. Overshown goes down. Damn, bro. We just need one linebacker, and we'll be a pretty good damn team for contention. Just one, not two, just one. Just one linebacker is all we need. They said run out there with Damone Clark and some damn safeties and figure it out. That's wild to me, y'all. That is wild to me that this team will just turn a blind eye to it and just be like, I don't care. I do not care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. What's up, Andrew? What's going on with you? You want to blame Jerry? I don't even blame Jerry no more. I think it's Steven, y'all. I think it's Steven. I think it's Will McClay. And you know what's funny? Last year, or it might be the year before, preseason comes, so I'm watching like all my little draft kiddos and all sorts of stuff kind of going on. And I was watching the Patriots, and yeah, we got McDonald's at home. I was watching the Patriots, and they're kind of like their home local broadcast, right? And the Patriots media was talking about how the Patriots don't spend big in free agency. They just did kind of this year. You know what I'm saying? Don't spend big in free agency. They're not really aggressive, but they don't have Tom Brady to mask it anymore. And the old Patriots way is probably not going to keep them competitive in the NFL. You see what I'm saying? The Dallas Cowboys went from the ultra aggressive power moves, big splash, talent over everything type organization to sitting back and wanting to do things the Patriots way. Yeah. The Patriots kind of bring in some older guys, churn the running backs, keep the price point low, all that stuff, right? So they want to do things the Patriots way. But the big caveat, as we all know, the Patriots had a Hall of Fame head coach, and their owners stayed the hell up out their way, and they had arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. So yeah, you can cheat, you can scheme things off the top and skim off the top a little bit. Yes, Tom Brady took some friendly deals, and you can, go get your Ocho Cinco. But here's also another caveat that people miss with that, right? The Patriots also had courage because they had a coach that had some moxie, some nuts, and some fortitude. They could take an Antonio Brown from Vegas after he just threw a fit over a helmet and said, nah, let's bring him in here and see if it works. They tried T.O., they did Ocho Cinco, they did Randy Moss. Y'all remember when they got Big Albert Haynesworth? Like the Patriots was not afraid to take on dog mentality risk because they felt like once someone comes in and sees the culture of the Patriots, that standard would change. Now, did it work for all of them? No, but for some it did. You see what I'm saying? But see, we don't have that. We don't have that where it's like, yo, we can bring in this troubled defensive tackle, but he's outstanding. But he's kind of a head case, and the coaching staff, the culture, and everything will probably change it. Y'all remember what was his name? Jordan Phillips, the guy from the Bills, came to the Bills, ain't do shit in Dallas. Right? They ended up benching him because of a wrist. And then he goes right back to Buffalo and turns up. He was like, just get me up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the $5 super chat for my dog B Bird. There's no negative consequences for being bad at your job for the Joneses. They operate with that in mind, and that's why they sit on their hands. There's zero. There's zero. There is zero. There's zero consequences. Look at what Nico Harrison's going through with the Mavericks. They don't have to deal with that. They don't have to deal with that. They don't have to deal with that. They keep getting away with it. And that's why, B Bird, I personally have to stay on them. Because what happens is they give the fan base cheap flowers and everyone eases up, right? People forget how embarrassed they was after Green Bay. People forget how embarrassing it was to lose to the Saints. People forget how embarrassing it was to lose and get embarrassed by the Falcons. People forget how embarrassing and hurtful it was to lose to the Texans. All right. People forget, you know, we let the Falcons and Kirk Cousins swag surf all over us. We forget that because they toss us a bone. They toss us a bone, right? Everybody was mad, mad, mad. This is ridiculous. I'm sick of this, sick of this. Oh, look at them new draft hats. They kind of fire though. I can't lie, them draft hats is fire. Oh, did they switch Overstone's number to 0? Oh, yo, okay. Oh, did they just sign Javonte Williams at midnight on the first day of free agency? I think they're kind of moving different. I'll give them a chance. That's all it took. That is all it took. That is like your spouse, your girl, or your man being mad at you, and all you had to do was just take them to Chili's. All forgiving. Took them to, I like Chili's. You know what I'm saying? I like Applebee's too. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It was nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. And what they do, they gave us Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, traded for Kyer Elam, Peyton Turner, Solomon Thomas, Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, and recranked up the season ticket prices and said, have at it. Resign Osa. Resign Osa. Brought back Dante Fowler, who you should never let go in the first place. Have at it. They're going to slap a draft on top of that in 2 days. Here, it's ready to go. Ready to go. Ready to go. Have at it. Back on the train. You know? And just do a little more than last season, rinse and repeat. Yeah, just enough to take off the edge. That's all it is. You know? That is all it is just give you a little to get you hooked in. Get you a little to get hooked in. Like, think about this. As bamboozled, here's how bamboozled we are as Cowboys fans. We celebrate small things like re-signing our own players. We re-signed Osa. Let's go. Let's go. We re-signed Osa. Yeah, because that's all the only choice you had. You had no other defensive tackles on your roster that was worth a damn, bro. You better re-sign Osa. You know what I'm saying? We re-signed Osa. He's back. Yeah, you had no other choice. You had no other choice but to re-sign Osa because your draft pick ain't hitting. And then you lost Chauncey Golston. You had no other choice. And we'll do it, right? We'll go through this long, lengthy, dry ass summer of Micah Parsons this and Micah Parsons that. And then he'll probably be missing camp or something like that. He's back. We re-signed Micah. Let's go. We had no other choice, bro. you're doing the bare minimum and getting rewarded for it. It's like my kids coming home saying, "Dad, I got a C." Oh, bro, you got a C in math? Shit, where you want to go eat tonight? Congrats. Speaking of my son, quick pause. I want to give a huge shout out to my son, Jay Tuck Jr. Jalen. So my son, he's in high school, he's a freshman in high school. So he did some art stuff he was working on for his art class. Well, his art is now being recognized at the Kansas City Gala this upcoming Monday. So they're gonna do this huge thing and display his paintings that he's been making. They're gonna give like a huge announcement and cut the velvet cord and all sorts of stuff. So the family's going to be in attendance. So salute to J Tuck Jr., man. The art pays off. He's always painting, drawing, scrambling, doing stuff upstairs. He thinks he's a better drawer than his dad. He got me now. You know what I'm saying? He got me now because when I was a kid, I used to draw. Like drawing was my thing. Like drawing cartoons. I wanted to be a cartoonist. So he started drawing because of me. Because when he was a kid, I used to he like draw me Spider Man, Dad, and like that's how I would get him to go to sleep. So I would sit there and like draw cartoons, his favorite till he so then he started drawing, but now he can draw his ass off. So he got me, whatever. And so yeah, his art's gonna be revealed at the Kansas City Gala on Monday. So thankful for my boy, man. Congrats, J Tuck Jr. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So salute to my mini me. He can't beat me in video. He can beat me in Mortal Kombat, but he can't beat me in video games or anything like that. So I still got one up on my little man. Um, I see her journey will be studied for years. Katy Perry's an astronaut. Respect her. Man took them drives back to San Antonio after he lost his ankle. Cuts, bro, they hurt. Cuts is there with me. Because you know what it's like to drive all the way from San Antonio to Dallas, go to Texas Live, spend money, spend money at the tailgate, spend money on tickets, spend money, standing out there all day, tailgating and cooking over the stove, and then get punched in the mouth by the Houston Texans and get packed up and sent back to San Antonio. Thank you. Come again. you know, like it's amazing to me that how an organization that just breathes excellence and big and bold have just settled for mediocrity. And I feel like our fan base has really given up. You know, think about this. Even though they didn't win it all, the Mavericks won a championship, lost their cornerstone in Dirk Nowitzki, had Luca, and you had the Porzingis thing that didn't work out, right? Got rid of Porzingis, got Kyrie Irving, went to the NBA Finals, right? So they tore it down and rebuilt it before the Dallas Cowboys have done it in damn near 30 years. You see what I'm saying? Like that's crazy to me. Oh my God, I appreciate the super chat. What gets me is like everyone who wants to trade back to get development players in the later rounds instead of moving up and getting a superstar like Genty. Why not address other needs on the back end of free agency? I agree. Appreciate the super chat. I 1000% agree. And I think Law had this little post, right? With the Family Guy mystery box. On the mystery box. Like we just focus on the mystery box items instead of getting the absolutes. We want to take what's behind door number 3. You can go get Aston Genty and get a brand new car, and I want to trade back and take what's behind door number 3. No whammies. No whammies. No whammies. Y'all remember that show? No whammies. And let me open up. It's a brand new Mozzie Smith. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, you can get a brand new Brian Thomas Jr., a brand new Graham Barton, or you can trade back and take what's behind door number 3. Oh, What should I do? What should I do? I have Brian Thomas Jr. right there, wide receiver at LSU. Oh, we have Graham Barton, who's arguably probably one of the best offensive linemen in the draft, he's sitting right here. I'm gonna trade back and take door number 3. All right, let's reveal what is behind door number 3. It's a Tyler Guyton. Oh, womp, 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 womp. But hey, thanks for playing the game. This is, you know what I'm saying? You could have a school. It's a brand new Schoonmaker. Womp, 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 womp. The mentality, bro. I don't understand it. I don't know. I would love to play fantasy football with Jerry and Stephen Jones and Will McClay because I would smoke their ass. You know what I mean? I would smoke their ass. You know, they'd be so the zonks. They be getting zonked. How do you go from wanting Dalton Kincaid in the first to getting Luke Schoonmaker? And I get it, right? Am I a draft expert? I don't know. Depends on who you ask, right? But a lot of us have done very extensive research to where the Luke Schoonmaker pick made 0 sense to any of us. And normally you always have a content creator or two just trying to sell the fan base and bullshit just to sell it. And when we all had the stank face, it was united. Yeah, I know Luke Schoonmaker is older than Luka Doncic. You know how crazy that is? You know how crazy that is? He's older than Luka. Had shoulder surgery, shoulder this, shoulder that, shoulder this, shoulder that. Older than Luka already. And you spent second round pick on him because you got leaked by Buffalo and they took Dalton Kincaid. Instead of just going and getting Dalton Kincaid, you sit there, let Buffalo snipe you, reach back, grab the Mozzie, clanked it off the rim, reach back again with the Luke Schoonmaker cocked back, clanked it off the rim, and thank God for Overshown. Tuck, you and Foots are the best I've seen on the draft content coverage in college football. Man, appreciate that. Appreciate it. Salute to my dog Foots out there, man. Foots puts out incredible work. Now, Foots be, Foots be tripping sometimes, but that's my dog. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about being right or wrong. I respect people like Foots. I respect people like Vach, Boss, DMV. List goes on and on. People who I know do the work. We're not all going to have the same opinion, but you're showing your work. I don't want to say hate because that's such a mean word. And Tuck, you've been mean for more than enough this week. You've had enough. I used up my whole being mean for the rest of the month, or maybe 2 months. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take 2 months off of being mean, right? Used it all up yesterday. All right, cool. My mean tank is depleted. All right. You know what I'm saying? You ever play like Madden and use your turbo meter? I use my turbo meter exhausted. You know what I'm saying? I exhausted my mean meter yesterday. You know, I don't want to be a mean guy, right? But I won't say hate. But I really don't like people who do draft work or draft analysis or think of themselves as a draft person, but they never show their work. You know what I'm saying? It's easy just to talk. Oh, you like Tet. I don't like Tet. I got Golden over Tet. Why? He's just better. Tet can't separate, and that's why. Okay. Well, have you seen Matthew Golden's releases off the line of scrimmage? Have you seen those releases versus man press? Do you see him being able to sharply crease and decelerate coming out of his breaks? So he has no faults. Do we see some of the juggled balls on the catches, right? Did you even go back and watch Matthew Golden at Houston? Or are you just dealing with Texas fun stuff? So if you can't show me, I just don't pay attention. Now, fans, okay, yeah, I'm not expecting fans to do all that, right? But like people who quote themselves as like draft people and they never show any work and they go off other people's work, like other consensus boards, y'all can do that. Y'all can get a subscription and pull up someone else's consensus board. I have my own consensus board. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. You don't do work. You see Stephon Gilmore at the start. Yes, Jeff, keep him there. Keep Stephon Gilmore there and do not let him go. Do not let him go. They don't really watch college football. That's why. See, that's where I tell people. Not only do I love the NFL draft, and it sounds weird to me saying this, I love college football more than I love NFL football. I like Cowboys football, but if you give me Alabama versus Ohio State, and then you have, I don't know, the Bills versus the Dolphins on at the same time, I'm not watching the Bills and the Dolphins. I'm watching Alabama, Ohio State, or Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan, Penn State, or so like I just love college football more, but Cowboy stuff, I just love Cowboys football. See what I'm saying? But it's like I'll spend on this is why I get so fat in the fall. And y'all gotta stop letting me get fat in the fall, man. But I wake up on Saturday. I might work out depending on my mood, depending on my Friday night. And then, salute to him, he's retiring. But college game day starts what, like at 10, 9, or something like that? And it's up from there. You know what I'm saying? It's college. I'll sit there all day on my couch and watch college football. Oh, watch college football. I have a thing on my TV where I can watch like 6 games at the same time. So I will binge the hell out on college football, watch the 10 o'clock game or 11 o'clock game, eat, right? Then get what like the 3 o'clock game, watch that, the night games. I'll black the hell out on college football. For me, NFL Sunday, if the Cowboys play at Sunday night, I'll probably take a nap during the noon game, probably go grocery shopping during the 3 o'clock game. I'm getting ready for the Cowboys stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I love college football. And you know what I'm saying? Like even attending college football games, that energy is just different. I really, because I'm not doing the Cowboys season tickets this year, I really should consider spending that money going to like big time SEC games like Bama and LSU or something like that. I was supposed to go to Florida State last year in Tallahassee because I'd never been to a game at Tallahassee. And hold up. Oh shit, hold on. All right. Okay. Yeah. I'd never been to a game at Tallahassee, and I was supposed to go this year. And thank God I didn't because it was the Boston College game where we got dog walked by Boston College and shit. So I was like, nah, 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 nah. But college football is definitely fun. The energy is just different. I'm saying way college football is a lot easier to make money on. Yeah, that too. Um, what's up, Reddy? What's going on with you, dog? So yeah, so I just love college football. I'm excited this year to cover Kansas football. Brand new stadium to get in there at the University of Kansas. So it's going to be fun, man. And this year, I'm not sure. I mean, I'll probably cover the Kansas Jayhawks too. But like I said, my middle son, he's going to KU. So, that will be some opportunities for, dad to come to the games and we can tailgate and, do some all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I told him I'm not going to cramp his style. So I know he's gonna want to walk around campus, you know what I'm saying, with his little girl, you know what I'm saying? So I know if I put my son next to dad, we walking around campus, you know what I'm saying? I might take some of them looks away from him. So like, listen, son, I'm gonna come to the games, we gonna tailgate, bring some of my friends down, I'm gonna pull up the trucks and everything, grill out, but then y'all can kind of just go do y'all thing, and me and my friends will do our thing, and we'll meet you back at the house once the game is over. If you don't want dad cramping your style, you know what I'm saying? He says, "Oh, dad, you can never cramp my style." Like I know because I'm on that. The you coming back? Yeah, with Carson Beck. You know what I'm saying? Hawaii games don't start till 11 p.m. at night and over like 2:30 a.m. in the morning. Y'all remember that? I was talking about Torrey Horton, right? When he played versus Colorado, that Colorado State Colorado game. That shit was like almost like 2 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like 2 in the morning. Them games be hella late because even watching, because like I said, my daughter went to BYU. Watching those games, those BYU games be like, oh, now it's 9:30 or 10, and we kick off at BYU. I'm like, the hell if we are, I'm out. Even like with my Vegas Knights, they play what Sunday? They start the game at like 9:30. You know what I'm saying? Like 9:30 p.m. I was like, I saw like two scores and I was out. Said Tuck, you gonna look like a student on campus, man. Not with these poking out, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I told them like I'm not gonna cramp the style down there at KU. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if you hollering at them, you know what I'm saying? I'll just let me know, and Dad will kind of step off to the side. I don't want people to know you're out here tailgating with your dad. You know what I'm saying? But it's a fun time out there, man. Like K State games are fun. It's like where Cooper BB went. Those games are fun. Kansas, Missouri games, those are intense. They used to be like hella intense back in the day. You know what I'm saying? That's back when I was young, right? So back when me and my friends used to go to Kansas, Missouri games, I used to have my Arrowhead. And man, the scraps and fights we used to get into with those Missouri fans. Like we were pretty much like going to fight. You see what I'm saying? Because you just knew Missouri fans, y'all think that Eagles fans and Cowboys fans are worse, or Yankees fans and Red Sox fans are bad? I'm telling y'all, when Kansas and Missouri used to have the border showdown, it was like you're pretty much going out there to bang. You know what I'm saying? But the cool part is like back in the day, right? We used to scrap at tailgates, fight a little bit, dust ourselves off, crack open a beer, and get shit to moving. You know what I'm saying? We ain't hold no grudges. We wasn't trying to, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We throw hands a little bit, get dirty, rip our collar up a little bit, shit, dust ourselves off, go grab a beer, and get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just, things have changed. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to college football, especially the damn video game, man. I'm looking forward to college football, the video game, and GTA 6, y'all. I'm going to go crazy this year on games. So I figured out a way I can still stay active. I'm getting me one of those like desk bikes in there in my man case. That's why I'm watching football. I might just give me a Peloton. I might give me a Peloton and put it in there in the man case. So that way I'm watching games. I can at least be on my Peloton. Because I have a the Rogue Echo bike. I need to start using that shit, honestly. But it's like the big assault bike. But man, shit, that shit tears your shoulders up, back up, everything. You see what I'm saying? But it's a beast. You know what I'm saying? You just But I might get me a little Peloton. Um, Eddie Mitchell was right there too. Yeah, we had so much available. Worthy, Coleman. Shit, let's look at everything that we passed on when last year when we traded back for the mystery box. Yeah, 2024. Let's see here. No, this is 2025. All right, so let's see. We had I need to do all that. All right, so after a trade back, because we got Snipes, so we could have got Brian Thomas. We missed out on that. Possibly could have got Quinyon Mitchell. Graham Barton, we missed out on. So we traded back to 29. So missed out on Nate Wickens, Ricky Parasol. All right, that's in the first round. Round two, that went after us: Keon Coleman, Lad McConkey, Jerzon Newton, Jalen Pope, Javondre Sweat, Braden Fisk, Cooper DeJean, Jackson Powers Johnson, Edgerrin Cooper, Zach Frazier, Ben Sinnott, Patrick Paul, right? So yeah, mystery box. K-State versus Kansas football game, still a big rivalry. Yeah, they are. It's not a rah rivalry. It's just kind of like big bro, little bro, um, type of rivalry. Kansas State typically beats Kansas in football. Basketball is the opposite. Though this year, I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened to Kansas basketball. We just fell off a cliff. Um, Quinyon Mitchell or Sauce Gardner, Quinyon Mitchell. Love Quinyon Mitchell. Love Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell. Um, 8% of the NFL draft picks achieve careers that make significant difference beyond being a replacement and level player. Yeah. Yeah. And see, that's what people don't understand, right? I was trying to explain this. What's the easiest way I can explain this? So this is what they taught me in the scouting academy, right? There's like a learning curve, right? It's like a bell curve, all right? So what you're doing is you have this bell curve, right? So it's trending up, okay? So the top of the bell curve would be an all pro, all right? So the NFL all pro, then you might say starters. Now, let's say pro bowler, right? Then you have, let's say, starter. Then you have potential starter, right? And then you just have just a rotational person, right? I mean, you also have can't play a lick of football, right? So when you have this bell curve, right? So this is just a rotational guy, right? Potential starter, instant starter, pro bowler, all pro, right? Typically, when you're in the earlier rounds, you should be aiming right here. You should be aiming for guys that should at least be in this quadrant alone. Starter, Pro Bowl, All Pro, right? That's probably like in your top 15, right? And then probably from 15 to 25 and so on, you could be around this area, right? So this is potential starters or starters, right? So ideally, when we are picking the top 15, we should get a guy that we know is going to be instant day one starter at the least, but also has Pro Bowl ability. You see what I'm saying? So that's where we should be right here. And like case in point, right? Abdul Carter, you pretty much can probably, all of us could close our eyes and pick Abdul Carter, and we'll play, say, Abdul Carter will be a Pro Bowl. Maybe not, maybe if it's not his rookie year, his second year, right? So you should be right here, okay? But the Cowboys, we kind of aim for this potential starter sweet spot a lot and a lot earlier than we should. Mozzie Smith was the potential, right? I feel like Tyler Guyton was more of a potential as well. You know what I'm saying? Luke Schoonmaker, a potential, right? Deuce Vaughn, rotational potential. So a lot of these guys we've been drafting, Marshawn Nealon was down here. Who else we draft, right? Um, Maris Leofow right here. Even Overshown was down here. He transcended up, right? So a lot of the times where we're spending a lot of our Cowboys resources is guys that are in the lower quadrant. Sam Williams, potential starters, right? Jalen Tolbert, rotational, potential starters. So we are spending a lot of our draft capital down here. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem because when you go Ezekiel Elliott, right? Ezekiel Elliott, you just knew Ezekiel Elliott at the least was going to be a starter. Like this was the minimum. Starter was a minimum for Zeke, right? Starter was the bare minimum for CeeDee Lamb. Starter was the bare minimum for Micah Parsons. You see what I'm saying? So we shouldn't be getting guys at 12 or even a trade back where it's like, okay, well, we got Tyler Guyton and we're going to give Tyler Guyton a chance. But if things fail, then maybe Josh Simmons can work out and become our. No, 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 no. Like all this stuff down here for this draft specifically, we shouldn't be in this quadrant until day 3 of the draft. You know what I'm saying? This should be day 3 of the draft where we're drafting rotational guys and guys that can potentially start maybe in the immediate future or possibly the next year, right? That's where this should be, right? But the first 3 picks, it should be Pro Bowl, right? Instant impact, instant starter, right? So if you tell me we get Tet, Tet's right here, instant starter, right? Quinshawn Judkins, instant starter. Trey Amos, instant starter. And then that's the bare minimum. You see what I'm saying? That's the bare minimum. You drastically would see unless a complete fall off where you draft someone like Tet and all of a sudden Tet gets so bad, he's just a rotational guy. You see what I'm saying? Like now. So the first 3 picks of the draft, and I might just do a video on this if I got some time. I probably won't because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I got a pack. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. But the first 3 picks for the Cowboys this year have to be in this top quadrant. You see what I'm saying? You have to walk out. I know you're like, what the is Tuck drawn? Like someone's probably just tuned in, like Tuck's over here scribbling and scratching. You know what I'm saying? But first 3 picks should be starter at the bare minimum. At the bare minimum. Right? We shouldn't go with the guy and a wide receiver in round 3 where we're making the argument, well, damn, is he really better than Jalen Tolbert? Right? Does he really have better film and more experience than Jonathan Mingo? He shouldn't be in this quadrant. The guy that we get, wide receiver, should be all right. He's better than Mingo. He's better than Tolbert right now. You see what I'm saying? And we go from there. So that's where I'm at when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys and how they should handle the draft, right? Go last year, you knew. Let's get rid of the quarterbacks, right? Marvin Harrison, boom, starter, instant starter, Pro Bowl talent, right? Malik Neighbors, boom, instant starter, Pro Bowl talent. Joe Alt, instant starter, Pro Bowl talent. You know what I'm saying? Roman Duze, instant starter. You know what I'm saying? But look at some of these others, like Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers last year went 13. Instant starter, instant impact. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the Cowboys have to be thinking. Now, when you transition back and you're thinking, okay, like Jarrett Verse, instant starter, defensive player of the year. You just knew that. Troy Fatanu, Chop Robinson, Quinyon Mitchell. Damn, this is a good ass rag class, to be honest with you. Jordan Morgan, Graham Barton, Darius Robinson, Xavier Worthy, and then Tyler Guyton was only a starter because we had a void. You see what I'm saying? And what do I mean by that? Let's say, for instance, we had Tyron Smith on the roster, right? Would Tyler Guyton have been the instant starter? No. You see what I'm saying? The same thing that happened with Tyler Smith, right? Tyler Smith wasn't an instant starter. He had to work his way into that. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is for this draft, we have to have instant starters where we look at this player and say, oh, he's definitely a massive upgrade over what we currently have in Pro Bowl, maybe not rookie year, but next year it's easy. We knew CeeDee Lamb was going to be a Pro Bowler. You know what I'm saying? We knew Ezekiel Elliott. We knew Micah Parsons. You know, that's where I'm at when how the Cowboys should address this draft. You have to work on the top of the quadrant of the bill, right? Because with this doesn't take a lot of coaching up, right? There's not a lot of work that needs to be done when it comes to Abdul Carter. You see what I'm saying? There's not a lot of work that needs to be done coaching up and developing Ashton Genty. You know, there's not lot of coaching that needs to be done with Travis Hunter. You see what I'm saying? But for these guys in this bottom quadrant, you have to coach these. You have to coach these Jalen Tolberts all the way up this hill. You have to coach this Mozzie Smith and push this Mozzie Smith ball all the way up this massive hill. So you're drafting Mozzie Smith as a rotational guy with some traits. You push him. You have to push. Damn, does this freeze? Why people always want to call when I go live? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold up. We good? Did I freeze up? Hold on. Did I lose y'all, man? God damn it. All right, we back. All right, cool. All right, so yeah. So Mozzie Smith, right? Mozzie Smith was a rotational potential starter, right? Rotational guy with potential starting ability. You couldn't tell me that Mozzie Smith was honestly better than Jonathan Hankins, right? So we had to coach Mozzie Smith up to be the potential starter, right? Then the weight of that ball kept rolling back downhill. Okay, boom, rolling back downhill. Then we had to push it back up to potential starter, and we're still getting rolling back. So we are spending 3 years trying to push this Mozzie Smith up to being a potential starter, right? Because he is. You can't see me. I can't see me. God damn it! Hold on, hold on. Y'all lose me? Hold on. Damn. Y'all can't see me with John Cena. Y'all can't see me. Yo. Can y'all see me? We can hear you, but y'all can't see me. Hmm. You got audio but can't see me. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Shit. Let me see. Let me try this. No visual. Hold on. Let me try this real quick. Hold up. All right. Let's see now. Hold on. Are we good? Good. Y'all see me? Y'all see me? If not, they may have screwed up with the phone call. We back. Y'all can see me. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. That's the thing is like when I stream on my phone, like nobody calls me, then everybody wants to call. All right. Cool. All right. So what I was saying is with Mozzie Smith, right? We had him as a rotational first rounder, potential starter, right? And we're trying to get him to being a consistent starter, okay? And year one, Mozzie, we tried to push him up this hill and we got some resistance, right? Pushed him back to being kind of potential starter, rotational guy, got some resistance, right? So we are trying to really push Mozzie Smith from being rotational to potential starter to starter, and we're getting 3 years of resistance. Look how much coaching, training, scheme, and effort it is taking to get Mozzie Smith to being a consistent starter. You see what I'm saying? But Jared Verse didn't take any of that. Jared Verse was a starter, and now you push him to a Pro Bowl, and you're possibly the next step is pushing him to an All Pro. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't take as much work when you get impact guys. Yeah, Mozzie Smith was overdrafted. That simple rep. There's no way you could convince me that the Cowboys had a first round grade on Mozzie. But what did they say? They were scared of losing him, so they drafted him anyways. They was just scared of losing him. So they drafted him anyways. You know what I'm saying? So think about let's go to that draft class, right? That was what, 2023? 2023. All right. So let's get to that draft class. Look at what we missed out on, nah, by being scared. So we let did we trade up for Mozzie? No. Okay. All right, no, we didn't. All right. So we let the Bills jump us for Dalton Kincaid. All right. We went Mozzie. You had Brian Breesy there. You missed out on Nolan Smith. All right, you missed out on Nolan Smith, which was easy. I think you also missed out on Joey Porter. Yeah, you missed out on Joey Porter. You missed out on Sam Laporta. So imagine the Cowboys would have just went Sam Laporta that draft over Luke Schoonmaker, right? Michael Mayer, Steve Avila went to the Rams. Matthew Bergeron, who went to the Falcons. Jonathan Mingo, Brian Branch, Zach Charbonnet, Javon Dexter. I checked on Javon Dexter. He's out there in Chicago, right? So yeah, so you reached back. Yeah, oh yeah, Junior Fiocco. You know, so this is what happens when we trade back for the mystery box. Yep. hmm Yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, I think me personally, Junkie, I'm considering corner as a weapon. So I would say I'm more skill position versus trenches. It's not necessarily weapons for me. It's more skill positions versus trenches. That's where I'm kind of at. So we went corner, or if we went edge, I would not be opposed to that, right? If we went edge and went disruptive, you know what I'm saying? I guess you can qualify that as trenches depending on the type of player, right? Is outside linebacker, is a hand and dirt edge guy. But I think that's where you get your biggest impact. That's where you get your needle movers from. You know what I'm saying? Guys that can really go out there and move the needle. So Shamar Stewart. So I thought I had it done. I'm not sure if it's on my. Ooh, we dash should drop the bangers. Uh, uh, let's see here. Let's see here. Let me see. Where is my Let's see if I can find it. Because I had Shamar Stewart ranked fairly decent in my overall. Where is it? It's not on here. Let me see if it's on my laptop. So I got my overall board got my top 50 board, right? Now I was gonna make a cute graphic and all sorts of stuff and do an unveil and all that shit, but I ain't got time. I got to pack, and like I said, my wife is having happy hours. I got to take care of the kids, the dog, everything before I fly out like at 4 in the morning tomorrow. So it's just like shit. You get it, you get it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so boom. Let's see here. Let's see. No. Delete. All right, cool. Let me do this, and then bang. All right. Okay, so where do I have Shamar Stewart ranked? Because overall, I haven't fully finished this. I'll finish it tomorrow, but I have my rankings. My big board, I have Shamar Stewart. I have Shamar Stewart ranked as 10th on my big board. So I have Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Ashton Genty, Jalen Walker 4, Will Campbell 5, Mason Graham 6, Amar Mimbu 7, Cam Ward 8, Mike Green 9, Shamar Stewart 10, Tet at 11, Warren at 12, Campbell, Booker, Hampton, Harmon, Nick Manawari, Walter Nolan, Malachi Starks, Michael Williams, and Luther Burden at 21. So that's how I have my board, but I'll do the other top 50. We'll go through that tomorrow night. And then as far as my first round grades, I haven't really completed it yet, but I am, where is it? My first round grades. I am leaning towards one, and the reason why I did this board is with the app that O built. There were some guys who are fringe, right? So I have like Shador Sanders. I have him as a fringe first round, second grade, but I just put my first rounders as guys who I have definitive first round grades on. So definitive, I have Cam Ward, I have Ashton Genty running back, Amari Hampton. I also have Tet, Emeka, Luther, Golden, first round grade, tight end, Tyler Warren, and then offensive tackle, I have Campbell, Banks, Armand, Tyler Booker, guard, Mason Graham, Abdul Carter, Mike Green, Jalen Walker, Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, and Malachi Starks. So that's kind of my grade. So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have 18 first round grades this year. I have 18, right? Yes, 18. I'm just doing this right. Yeah, 18. I got 18. I got 18. I got 18 first round grades total. So yeah, that's where I'm at this year. Like I said, there's some guys who are kind of like on the fringe, right? Who like Shador. Like I said, Shador is a first round, second round grade for me overall. The only thing I really worry about Shador is the athleticism. So it depends on the team that he goes to. But I feel like, everything from a pure quarterback standpoint, he has it, but I'm kind of worried about the athleticism, especially at the NFL level. If you're behind a bad offensive line and you can't move and get the ball off quick, and so I feel like that can impact him. But overall, intangibles, I really like what I saw from the kid. Ashton Genty, don't need to say much. Amari Hampton, don't need to say much. The wide receivers, Mac, Emeka, Burton, Golden, we've already talked about that. Tyler Warren, you already know. Kelvin Banks, Will Campbell, don't need to dive in deep. Tyler Booker as a guard. Um, yeah, and Amon Mimbu, he's down here for some weird reason. Amon Mimbu, Mason Graham, versatile enough. It's like Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan's a guy that is a fringe, right? He's late first round, early second grade for me, but I just went first round for show. Abdul Carter, Mike Green. So I think the biggest shocker for some people is that I don't have Mikael Williams as a first round edge. I don't have Shamar Stewart. Yeah. So yeah. And see Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, and Malachi. Sanders isn't going to be less athletic than Dak. I think he'll be fine, and that's no shot at Dak. But see, that's current Dak, right? But think about this also. Even though Dak isn't the athletic Dak that he was, back in the day, he's still built stout. You know what I'm saying? He still has a very stout build when it comes to Dak Prescott. Um, so I think that's the thing, right? I think that's the thing when it comes um, to um, to Dak Prescott. He's built stout. Um, let me see here. And let's see here. Now you guys I'm going through my grades, make sure they're all updated. But like I said, I'm not going to make a cute little graphic with this shit. I'm kind of cool on it. A shocker that could possibly happen, that a lot of people aren't talking about that are probably pissed Cowboys fans off, would be Arante Ursary out of Minnesota. Um, that would be the pick that everyone's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That would be the pick where everyone's just losing it, going batty crazy. But he's a left tackle. He has some size. He has some versatility. Wyatt Milliam out of West Virginia. Not at 12, dog. Not at 12. Amon Mimbu. Amon Mimbu. Keep your eyes on it. Keep your eyes on it. keep your eyes on it. Right tackle, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I feel like there could be some sleepers at the offensive line. But me personally, like if you are pressed for offensive line, right, and specifically guard or tackle, let's say for instance, you go wide receiver in the first round, you could possibly maybe even get you a Josh Connolly Jr. out of Oregon, who I like. Cameron Williams could possibly maybe float a little bit out of Texas. Um, Emory Jones out of LSU. That's second round guys, right? And then you could possibly get, from the guard perspective, if you're taking a look at the guards, you know, Gray Zabel will probably either be a um, center guard. So Gray could possibly be there in the second at 44. Jonah Salvanea out of Arizona could possibly be there. You have Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State and Marcus Inbow. So there's some quality guys if you wanted to go in the second round that you could still get and be perfectly fine, right? You could be perfectly fine with some of these guys. And, me personally, these are what I would call the hybrids. They're left tackles in college, but would be guards at the NFL level. Yeah, Jonah from Arizona. Jonah from Zona. There we go. Jonah from Zona. We don't keep it like that. Easy, easy money, right? But then another right guard you could also possibly consider is someone like Tate Ratledge, right? Tate Ratledge out of Georgia. Even though he's 6'6", he's probably going to be a guard because he's light. He's like 308, something like that. So he could be one. Charles Grant out of Williams and Mary. Um, I know a lot of people, self-included, like Luke Cantor's film. Um, Willie Lampkin, another good guy. He's just undersized as hell. So that would probably be like a day 3 guy. But if you watch Amari Hampton's film, he's out there moving shit at their right guard position. So, if you're looking for like some maulers, some run blockers, there's some good quality guys out there, y'all. Like at the guard position, um, you have Addison West out there. Uh, yeah, Jackson Slater. And then, yeah, let me see what else. That's Jake Majors will be center. Yeah, a lot of these centers are pure centers. Pure centers, pure guys. So there's some quality guys out there. I just don't feel like you have to go offensive line, y'all, in the first round. I really don't. I mean, I understand it, buzzwords, tough, physical, strong, all of that, but I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. Um, you know, and I see a lot of people say like, I like Will Johnson. I feel like Will Johnson is pure. Um, yeah, Chris. So David Walker, edge. I think I was talking about David Walker the other day, out of Central Arkansas, on one of these live Q and A's. I like David Walker. I post his clips on Twitter. He is disruptive as hell. He's just undersized. I think he's like 6 foot, something like that. Um, let me see, what is his official size? David Walker, yes, he like 6 foot 263. But man, that is a kid where it's just like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he just has a motor that just doesn't burn out. And y'all know that I love motor guys. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one thing to win your way to my heart is being motor. You know what I'm saying? Motor, 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 motor. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, so I think I love David Walker. I'm trying to see what's going on. People tagging me and stuff. Okay, David Walker. Yeah, and let's see here. Um, yeah, 'cause, yeah, David Walker he was havoc. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunity when it comes to just UDFA day 3 guys, because he gets pressure, quarterback hurries. How many sacks did he have? Yeah, he had a good pass rush win rate, and then sacks. He had 12 sacks. Yeah, so he can get to the quarterback. It's just his size, right? And then look at his arm length, and look at all that. You know what I'm saying? But I really do like Mike Green. To be honest with you guys, I like Mike Green a lot out of Marshall. Um, a lot of people say Dwight Freeney-ish. Like, did I post this? It's on my Twitter account. I posted something to David Walker. But yeah, go look up David Walker, y'all. Like, he has a motor. Like I said, yeah, he had Dwight Freeney-ish. He could be possibly, and I think he's going to go a lot higher than a lot of people assume. Right? I think he could be like a fourth or fifth round guy. To be honest with you guys. Do you have Connolly making it to the second? To the second round, I could see it possibly to 44. I wouldn't hold my breath, right? Because you're going to have Campbell, you're going to have Banks, you're going to have Ursery, going to have Cam Williams, probably have Amon. We will have Amon. You'll have maybe Josh Simmons. So I think that Connolly will be pressed to the second round. But will he get to 44? That I don't know, right? But the thing about Connolly, like I said, he was primarily right tackle at Oregon, but with this size, 6'4", what was his arm length? 33. Yeah, so he doesn't have the best arm length and hand size. I think at the NFL level, 6'4", with that hand size, if you're looking at a guard, um, and even though he played left tackle, he'll be a guy that's probably be able to get kicked in a little bit. Um, as far as his overall NFL stature. So, because I have this sheet. Shit, where is it? I need to. I had a notebook, man. I didn't get this before we go to the draft, right? My OneNote, but like it had like all these measurements that NFL scouts look for. Let me see if I can get it on my iPad. Let me see if I can get it on my iPad real quick. Not that, not that, not that. Um, brand new, brand new. Let's see here. Measurable, shared. Uh, 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 yeah, baseline measurables. Yeah. So when it comes to offensive guard, right, the percentile that you want to kind of aim for, the 75 percentile would be around 65, 65, right? Um, Ideal weight would be around 329-ish. Arms, arms would be 33 and a quarter. Hand size will be 10. So what was his? So he has the arm length of a guard, and then hand size. Yeah, so he's probably going to be Connolly's probably going to be a guard at the NFL level. Because for tackles to be in the 75 percentile that they aim for, you're looking at 6'6", 325, 34-inch arms, and 10 and a half hand size. So for him, he would probably classify in the lower percentile, being he's only 6'4". So he's probably going to be a guard at the NFL level for Connerly. So boom, there's your guard, right? There's your guard. There's your tackle card convert, right? He's going to probably fit right there. See, this is that dope stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is that dope stuff y'all get from being a part of CFO Sport. You know what I'm saying? And this is not Tuck making this shit up. So it's all right here. You know what I'm saying? So I have this whole little sheet here that tells me all the measurables that NFL scouts look for. You know what I'm saying? Good thing to find that's on my iPad. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just making it up. So this is what they go off of. Yo, shit, here he is. All right, cool. So here's a much cleaner way. I hate this iPad case. My wife got it for me, but it's like it's too big, right? So this is that bell curve I was talking about, right? So you're looking at elite over here, okay? elite over here, very good, good, solid, adequate, marginal and poor, right? So the elite quadrant, these are like your all pros, right? And kind of going through this quadrant. So this is what we're aiming for. You know what I'm saying? So we want to get guys that are either in the elite status, very good, but the bare minimum is good traits. See what I'm saying? So that's where we want to be living in this status for the first 3 picks. See what I'm saying? That's what I wish I would have just looked that shit up and first thing trying to draw it. So I had this version of it, you know what I'm saying, in my notes, but I gave y'all this version of it, you know what I'm saying? But shit, y'all get the drift. Y'all get what Tuck was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, so elite, right? Unique traits, consistently wins, dominates versus all competition, right? Those are elite players. They dominate versus all competition, right? High school, college, SEC, you name it, they just dominate versus everybody. Those are elite players. That's the Abdul Carters. Very good, displays rare ability within traits, has the ability to compete and win versus the majority of NFL competition. Okay. So you want elite, very good. Good is above average ability to win with this trait, has the ability to compete versus the majority of NFL competition, should win most matchups versus players with solid or below tools. You see what I'm saying? But that's like on a grading scale of 1 to 7, not 1 to 10, right? 1 to 7, we want to be at a 7 or a 6. We want to be at a 7 or a 6. You see what I'm saying? That is where we really want to be as far as what we're doing the first 3 days. You still see Harold Fannin Jr. around the second or third round. I wish we could draft him. Nowhere ever talks about Harold. I think Harold, we have to watch. I think Philly is very high on getting a tight end. And so I'm kind of peeking around and I hear them talking about Harold. I'm also hearing them talk about Mason Taylor as well. So I can see them maybe going for Harold or Mason Taylor. I remember how excited you got by Cooper Beebe pick. What players that we could draft possibly get the reaction this year? Good question. First round, Cooper Beebe would be Amari Hampton. Well, you're not gonna get the Cooper Beebe reaction because I'm gonna be in the media room, so I can't do that shit, right? But it would be Amari Hampton. Tet would be that one. Luther Burton would be that one. Genty would be that one. Day one guys, right? Day two reactions would be Judkins or Henderson. All right. Um, from that standpoint, Edge, yeah, he's not gonna be there day two. Edge would probably be that one. Devin Neal would be one. Devin Neal would be one. I would be ecstatic for. Cornerback, I would say Dorian Porter, Darian Porter, Trey Amos, Azare Thomas. I would do that for. And that is about it. Sadly to say, there's no linebackers I would do that for. Defensive tackles, I probably wouldn't do that for. Damn sure ain't doing that for no offensive lineman. Aronde Gatson could possibly get one, but yeah, I would say yeah. Devin Neal, Marion Hampton, Luther Burton, T Mac, Genty. Um, yeah, those guys I go crazy for. That's what people don't understand. Like, I was trying to explain this kind of, and it kind of helped me, right? Your chart drawing looked pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna post this on Twitter and be like, "This is Jay Tuck's colorful. This is my colorful graph, right? This is my colorful chart." And everybody's like, "What the hell is that, Tuck?" I'm like, "You gotta look into the live show." You know what I'm saying? Y'all get it. Y'all understand what I'm trying to explain. I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Like, yeah, good conversations. We went through all the scenarios for Dallas Cowboys. This is where our outcomes come down to. Anyway, what did Tuck just post? You know what I'm saying? What the hell did Tuck just post? Right? Um, but yeah. now I'm looking at this. I'm like, what else do I have in my notes? And that was the thing. Like, I never got my notes like taking properly lined up. Here's my very first little scouting report that J Tuck typed up. My first little scouting report that I typed up. I'm official. I'm official. You know what I'm saying? A little official. No scouting report. No Ivan Pace. My Ivan Pace this year would be Kendall Paul. That would be my Ivan Pace for me, Vaughn. If the Cowboys were to bring in Kendall Paul or draft him, yeah, I would go crazy for KP. I would go crazy for KP. Just a good kid. Just a good kid. Um, yeah. And see, like, yeah, this is the shit that I nerd out on, y'all. So it's like this is what I'm reading on my iPad. So it's like different wide receiver formations, different alignments, NFL language. And so when I tell people it's like I study my craft, man, like this is what I do. Like I really study my craft. Like I read books. Oh, y'all was asking about that the other day. Let me see if I got that. Y'all were asking for books, football books. All right, hold on. All right, so football books. All right, so here is one. Let me see. How do I go back to the main page? Hold on. Hold on. Let me get y'all right real quick. Um, hold on. This one. All right. So, a book that I've read that will probably help you guys out is Football Scouting Methods. Write this down. It's by Steve Belichick. So that is a good book to read if you're looking for books. Another one, Take Your Eye Off the Ball by Pat Kerwin, Playbook Edition. Let's see here. I wish I could show you guys the cover, but it's not letting me do it on my iPad. So yeah, so why won't it let me just do that? Whatever, bro. All right, so yeah, Take Your Eye Off the Ball by Pat Kerwin. I think there's also like a DVD for that shit. Um, the Football Coaching Bible. That's a good one. Uh, yeah, Football Coaching Bible. So there's a lot of good quality books. A lot of these books, I just get the audio, the digital version. That way, I can have them on my iPad. Let's see what else. Yeah, there's a few others that I have. Yeah, those kind of like my football books that I read. Yeah, NFL language. Yeah. And so there's also like other books that you can get that will like because the biggest struggle for me, to be honest with you guys, is that when you watch the game at the NFL level, I mean huddle language. I mean because the language changes, right? Whether you're at the NFL level or the college level, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to kind of keep things um separate. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I'll go from college to NFL and it's like it's the same thing but different language. And so it's just trying to explain it universally. And the hardest part about it as a content creator is explaining it in ways that the average consumer can understand it. So this is what I was saying about those split field reads, right? Remember the other day I was telling you about the split field reads? This is what I was talking about. We might have a concept to one side, we can pick a side, and the concept to the other side. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I was saying about like demonstrations of certain quarterbacks where you can simplify their offense and have a split field read. Vach Ray, man, salute to my dog Vach, man. Salute to Vach over there, right? So this is those split field reads I was talking about where you can split the field and have two different um concepts based off a defensive look and simplify the offense for your quarterback, right? For your young quarterback, right? So there's peer progression reads, pick a side, and yes no reads. So I always tell you guys, man, like especially in the off season, like as soon as this draft stuff is over this week, y'all, like just go on the internet and search like NFL books or NFL websites. Like there's so many different things that will teach you guys the game of football. You know what I'm saying? Um, say we're going offensive line, aren't we? You know what I'm saying? I hope not. I hope not. I hope that's not why Vosh sent y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going offensive line. I hope that's not why Vosh sent y'all. But you know, um, but yeah. So you'll understand like defensive line shades and A gap versus B gap blitzes, and if I'm telling you know a linebacker what gap to blitz in, like those little things, you know what I'm saying, can definitely help you out. Oh shit, here comes Lou. Uh you know what I'm saying? Did you get those Street and Smith Pro magazines? I did when I was younger. Didn't understand them back then. Yeah, I used to get them all the time, but yeah, it was just way too complex. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I would just say, listen, y'all, like go spend this off season if you really love it or give a damn about it, really go focus on just upskilling your football knowledge. I'm never a person who is wanting to stop learning. Like I'm always, you know what I'm saying, I'm probably about to go read some of these books after I pack. Y'all hit me like at 7 o'clock. I'm like, yo, Tuck, have you packed yet, bro? And if I'm like, nah, because I don't want to wake up at normally what I'll do is like, 'cause I have to be at the airport like at 5:30 in the morning. And I'll wake up like at 3 o'clock in the morning tomorrow and start packing and shit. And I'll be like, tired, and I'll get to Wisconsin and be like, damn, I forgot this cord and all this. So you know what I'm saying? I'm packing everything here. So I got my handy dandy, my Radio Row headset this time. So I'll be able to talk on my headset. Got my monitors. I got my, you know, shit. These spam calls are getting cold. Hold on, hold on. Froze, bro. God damn it. Hold up. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Damn spam calls. How do I be on do not disturb these spam calls looking through? Okay. Then I got these little microphones, right? So these are my clip-on joints that I got for the combines. I can just clip these on and interview prospects. You know what I'm saying? So the longer I'm in this media game, the more I realize what should I need and what should I don't need. So I got that, got my clip-on microphones, got my headset, chargeable, rechargeable batteries, iPad, you know what I'm saying? So the essentials. My essentials are one, if you're not doing Radio Row and shit, you don't need this. But just in case someone wants to pop over and do an interview, sit on the table with me, and so I got this for it. But more you just need some of these, right? Clip it on, boom, right? Interview the player, they take the other microphone, good there. Um, what else? I'm giving y'all free game. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all free game. All right. Then this is the Zoom handheld, right? Vach Ray, salute to Vach, man, my dog Vach, right? Salute to Vach, my dog, bro. You know what I'm saying? Surrounded by Packers fans, be strong. That's the thing about the draft, y'all. There's people all over. You know what I'm saying? And see, people don't really mess with me at stuff like that because I'm not going to be cowboyed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be walking around in Cowboys jerseys and all sorts of stuff. So they're probably not going to bother me. But shit, what can Packers fans say to me that hasn't already been said? You know what I'm saying? Oh, they already, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Hi CFO, what's your confidence level right now in the new coaching staff and picking the right players to help our team to do better this year? That is a good question. I would say my confidence level in the coaching staff is extremely high. I like what I see from my coaching staff. I think that's the one thing Shotty did was put together a good coaching staff. Now, picking the players, I would say 3. Um, because I really feel like Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Will McClay is going to really drive this draft, you know. So yeah, Tuck, can we get an extra 4-hour live stream? I got to go pack and get ready for Green Bay tomorrow. But tomorrow, y'all, when I get to the hotel, I ain't got nothing else planned, so I will go live. We will go live for a long time tomorrow, right? We'll be live pretty much, I would say, probably from like 2 o'clock till whatever I'm done. So um we'll go through everything, final details tomorrow. Probably have some guests stop in, pop in. I'll be live at the hotel tomorrow. But today we're just kind of vibing. Like I said, I'm on dad duty before I dip out. So wife's enjoying her night by herself, out with her friends at happy hour. So it's like, all right, I gotta go do that. But we'll definitely be live tomorrow, streaming everything, and really get into it. Like I was telling y'all, this Zoom thing, this is a lifesaver, right? So what you'll do is it's a handheld. So instead of having like a big ass mixing board, I can take this, plug this in here, right? Put it in my laptop, and I can control audio for 4 different mics and headsets. So if I had 3 people sitting at the table with me, or 3 people sitting at the table with me, I can host a live interview with them. Everyone has headsets and all sorts of stuff. I can control that without having to bring a big ass roadcaster with me. So travel light, man. When you're with media, it's the key. It's the key because you're going to be on the move, going to be on the go. I got my new 4K microphone or my 4K camera to attach. So we'll do that there, man. And yeah, we're going to rock out this week at the NFL draft. I will be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. Oh shit! Don't wrap that like that. Don't do that core like that. I'll be there tomorrow until Saturday morning. I'm coming back early Saturday morning because my middle son has prom on Saturday, so I'm not missing my baby boy's senior prom. So I had to get back early to help him get right, and then yeah, but we'll be here for day 3 of the draft and be ready to break down film on all these prospects and do what we do, man. But I'm extremely excited about it. Now, this is another thing I got. Now, this little thing I got, y'all, is kind of cool, but y'all saw this at the combine. Like it's like a handheld tripod and stuff for your phone, but like it'll move with you. So this thing will track me. So I can sit this here, right? If I set this here and I moved around my house, it will track me and follow me around. So let's say, for instance, I had it sitting here and I'm walking in circles, it will spin in circles and track me the entire time while I'm talking, you know what I'm saying, doing stuff like that. So that's another little handy thing. And yeah, that's it. That's it. There's one more thing. It's like you probably seen them before. The number one thing you should have when you're doing media coverage or whatever is a tripod that I have, and it's a handheld tripod, but I can extend it and make it almost like 5 feet tall, right? So when I'm at the podium tomorrow or Thursday, instead of holding my phone like this and, Ted, how does it feel to be a Dallas Cowboy and this like that, right? I can sit it down, pull out my tripod, set it right there, press record, and I can move my hands because the hard part is like trying to record me interviewing the player at the podium, but also talk on the microphone and make it like I'm not doing all that, right? So I'm a seasoned vet now when it comes to media technology. Because normally I don't even travel with my MacBook. I'll take my iPad, but since I'm probably going to do a live stream, and when you're in the radio room, you need headsets. So I'll have my headsets there, and we're gonna rock out for the NFL draft. And I'm excited, man. Salute to everyone. Be safe. Have fun. Prayers to you. Get draft. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, oh yeah, it gives you movie camera. Yeah, it's and see the thing that I love the most about that is that on the iPhones you can't do this anymore, like when you're recording. Like you can't just like, what I'm saying? But on that, it'll automatically allow me to do it. You see what I'm saying? It'll allow me to switch from the front camera to the back camera. So if I'm talking to y'all while I'm live streaming, but oh, there goes Mac. I don't have to, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me stop it. Like I can simply just switch it with the click of a button. There's a button on it. I just tap it right there and it'll switch it from the back camera to the front camera and can be interviews, man. So a lot of little tips and tricks and stuff you kind of learn along the way to build up your skill set when you're on the road, moving, getting content. So like I said, tomorrow when I get to the hotel, I will just pop on and we'll go live. I'll send out links to a lot of people in the community that can pop on. And we just gonna rock out and get prepared for the draft. And then on Thursday, we will do draft pre-show live from Radio Row. And then once the draft start, I'll be at the podium, getting content, popping in and out, doing interviews, and posting it on the CFO channel, man. So I appreciate you all. Like I said, I gotta get moving, get packed. But yeah, everyone have a good one, man. I appreciate the community. I love what's going on in the community right now, man. Salute to Vach. Man, I can't say it enough, man. I'm super proud of Vach, man, kicking in doors and representing and doing what he, what I'm saying? People think what Vach is doing is new. He's always been doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I love the most. Like, I think that's the cool part about our community is like, when we get these opportunities, it's like, oh, Jay Tuck is doing so and so on the radio. Like, y'all be like, bro, Tuck's been doing this for 4 to 5 years. It's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I get on TV, everyone's like, oh, the draft wizard. Yeah, I'm like, man, we've been calling Tuck the draft wizard for 6 years. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing nothing new. He's been doing it. You know what I'm saying? But if I was on TV all of a sudden, then it's like a big deal. Like, nah, bro, he's been doing it. So salute to Vach, man. It was like, oh man, this Vach guy is really good when it comes to his draft coverage. Where the hell you been? Oh no, bro. They are not going to pull a NFL combine situation with me this time, Vaughn. Like I said, they reached out to me this time. And two, I got a map. I got a map that shows me where I'm supposed to be dropped off at and where I'm supposed to be. Because at the draft, it's easy because I literally have like a media center that's away. That's where all the interviews and stuff will be. And then they'll have like the main stage that the players will kind of walk out on that you guys see and like all the fans and stuff out there. But yeah, I'll be in the media side. Maybe day two. Yeah, we'll do that. Day two. Yeah, because we have pick 44, right? Pick 44. So this is how we're gonna do it. All right. Lee, your shirt came in. Thanks, bro. Also, bro, go on the site, Lee. Hey, thanks for being patient. I was on about the everything. Go on the site and let me know what other shirts you want, bro, and I'll send you some more out because like the store is being crazy right now. But I'll go and get you some more out, bro. And appreciate you. Thank you for your patience. What I was gonna say, let me hold this idea. Day one, I'm gonna be media room, backstage, getting interviews at the press conference. I think day two, if it's not cold, if it's not cold, if it's not cold, then we'll live stream and go out and be amongst the fans, right? We'll go out, we'll talk to Cowboys fans, we'll talk to Packers fans, talk to Eagles fans, get interviews, all sorts of stuff like that, and just be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably do it that way. I'll split because like I get it. Sitting in the media room is a good opportunity and it's a good look. You get to talk to so many different people, but it gets stale because, like, especially with the Cowboys, when we're picking like 27th and 28th. Well, you just sitting there an entire draft, like, and with the 13th pick, the New Orleans, it's like, God damn, dog. Can we get to the Cowboys part? But now we're picking at 12, opening night, we're gonna be boom, 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 being out of there, right? And then on day two, since we trade all our picks away, we'll go what second round and third round, but we'll be outside with the community. And depending on because none of the players that we draft are going to be there for interviews at the podium anyway. So yeah, day two, we're going to go outside with the people and the Cowboys fans and do our draft that way. Green Bay weather showing like the 50s. I can pack a little heavy for that. I can maybe pack a little heavy for that and be all right in the 50s. You know what I'm saying? But snow and wind and rain, nah, we're gonna be inside. But if it's decent enough, I'll gauge it. Or I might do like a pre-draft show from Radio Row again. And then once the party starts, I might go outside amongst the people. I wish that they would do it where it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday versus Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But it just is what it is. But it's a fun event. So if you guys have never been to an NFL draft, you should go because you see fans from all over. It's completely free. Good food, good time, good banter. And the thing that I love the most about the draft, last year's Super Bowl don't matter no more, bro. Soon as they say with the 32nd pick, the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl chance select, la 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 la, that shit's over, dog. It is over. Congratulations, short lived. We are on to the new season, and nobody cares about what you did last year. You know what I'm saying? So let's hurry up and get Thursday, get that shit over with. And I don't want to hear nothing no more about no Super Bowl. Congratulations, you did your thing, but it's on to the next one, the new 2025 season. And that's exactly how it's going to be. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in, man, rocking with me. I want everyone to like the comments or like the content, subscribe to the channel, do all that fun stuff. You guys know the drill. And like I said, we're going to flood the market with good quality draft content. So salute to Cowboys Nation. Salute to the Cowboys content creators out there for rocking and doing the things the right way. And Dallas Cowboys Nation, let's go get some weapons. Don't listen to Lou. Don't listen to Lou. Don't listen to Boss. The Dallas Cowboys need weapons. If you want to help Dak, you must draft Mac. Peace.